artist, a man like me, him nobody, If you put me and Sizzla in a room right now, I lock that door there, Me beat him up,
No, I must say that.
No, me I tell you the truth.
Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. Like every other industry, the music business often sees its musicians go against each other head to head in heated feuds, and the reggae genre is no exception to this phenomenon. There have been numerous well-reported beefs over the years, like Beenie Man vs Bounty Killer, or the lengthy Cold War between Buju Banton and Junior Reach, which lasted for 14 years. But the last feud that I expected to see in 2025 is the seeming bad blood between Norris Man and Sizzla over an infamous onstage bust-up between both men in 2007 during a live concert. It was a long-forgotten matter that never came back to my memory, but over the past weekend, I was relaxing while watching an interview of Norris Man where he was recounting the impact of that clash with Sizzla, and quite controversially said that in a straight one-on-one fistfight, he would get the better of Sizzla. This shocking statement sent me back down memory lane to the very night that their face-off descended into a flurry of blows that stunned the entire reggae world big time. But how did it all begin? Well, we have to go all the way back to August 6th, 2007 at an annual event called St. Mary Me Come From, an annual show hosted by Capleton since the year 2000 to raise funds towards charitable causes within his home parish of St. Mary. That year's edition featured sizzling performers like Capleton himself and Pantan Moja. They kicked off that show in sensational fashion and had the crowd excited and buzzing. But as is often the case with such large concerts involving plenty of big names, the timing and scheduling of artist performances led to lots of delays, with performers getting to come on stage many minutes and even hours later than earlier agreed. And this would prove to be the spark for chaos before the night was over. At about 4 AM, Sizzla came on stage to perform his own set. In his usual fashion, he got the crowd jumping with excitement, and it all seemed to be going really well. But backstage, another artist, in the person of Norris Man, was fuming as he was being made to wait longer than expected to come on stage. And in a bizarre turn of events, Norris Man abruptly broke protocol and stormed the stage, while Sizzla and Lady Saw were performing, and would interrupt their act very loudly. Though artists who were friends sometimes butt in and joined their colleagues on stage, I say Norris Man came on in a very aggressive and disrespectful way, swearing and chanting loudly into the microphone, though his words weren't really targeted at anyone. And after ordering the selector to play his rhythm, he began to perform a track called Big Long Gun, a song with very aggressive lyrics that began to get under Sizzla's skin. Sizzla began to address him directly, and the pair began to exchange words before Sizzla told him to get off his stage. As the tension was building, members of the Bobo Ashanti Rasta family, which Sizzla belongs to, began to get very agitated. Now, if you know anything about the Bobo Ashanti Rastas, you already know that they can be very aggressive and don't play around. Norris Man responded to Sizzla with a remark about his mother. This was the last straw and provoked the Bobo Ashanti posse on stage, and they would move quickly to surround and manhandle Norris Man. Capleton would rush in to break it all up, and Sizzla would stand aside, though he told his crew to leave Norris Man alone. That was the end of their performance, as Sizzla would leave and Norris Man was removed from the stage. Jacquier would come on stage next and give a lovely performance that calmed the audience's nerves and restored the show's momentum. But the next day, the news was all over Jamaica that Sizzla's crew had jumped Norris Man and boxed him off the stage for insulting Sizzla's mother. Norris Man was undoubtedly out of line, and days later apologized to Sizzla, effectively bringing the beef to an end, or so it seemed at the time. Over time, it faded out of public consciousness for 17 years, until 2024 when Sizzla gave an interview on a podcast called The Nightly Fix. The podcast hosts would ask Kalonji about the whole affair with Norris Man from that night 17 years before, and Sizzla in response made it clear that while he didn't at all support Norris Man getting beaten, that he considered Norris Man's whole stage crashing move as a clear and deliberate act of disrespect. And when I watched it, I felt the general mood and tone from Sizzla was calm, though sarcastic and kind of funny. It sort of revived the whole affair and began to trend all over again a few weeks before Norris Man was billed to perform at Reggae Sumfest. And I'm sure it irritated Norris Man even though he didn't show it. Now fast forward 9 months into the future, this past weekend, Norris Man came on a hugely popular and influential reggae platform called the Entertainment Report podcast. And in the course of that chat, he opened up on the whole affair with Sizzla and still seemed unsettled by the whole affair. He revealed that there had been an unspoken tension and silent rivalry between himself and Sizzla dating back to the late 1990s when they were both still upcoming firebrand artists and members of the Rasta Renaissance movement. And he also expressed his disappointment that Sizzla didn't seize the opportunity to douse the whole affair when asked about it at the Nightly Fix podcast last year, despite the fact that he had apologized for sparking the whole brawl. On the whole, it's sort of clear that all is not really peaceful between both men at the moment. I say that Norris Man was totally out of line for brashly interrupting Sizzla's sets and talking about his mother, but he did try to make amends, so I think Sizzla should have done more to douse the matter when he gave that interview. Both men are absolute heroes of the reggae genre and champions of the culture in the 21st century. Icons who should be setting the pace for unity and love, especially as they are roots artists. It's my sincere hope that common sense and love prevails and that something gives so that a real peace can be made this time and as soon as possible. Somewhere and somehow, I know for a fact that it will happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them mark this with a musical collaboration in the very near future. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.